I am Jesse Weave, your community development lead here at Startup TNT. So pleased to be here for the fall 2025 Agri-Food Pitch Night powered by FCC and to be joined tonight by Marlise Hunter. How are you doing tonight, Marlise?
I'm doing all right. If I
Good.
can keep my voice for this entire pitch night, then I'm gonna be super happy.
Yeah, well, it's been a busy day week here at the Prairies, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But before we do, Marlise, tell everybody who you are.
Hi everyone, Marlise Hunter. I'm the Director of Ecosystem Partnerships with FCC, Farm Credit Canada.
And yeah, we've been having a great week here in the Prairies. I was just in Calgary. I'm in Winnipeg here today. What an incredible time it's been in Canadian ag tech lately, hasn't it, Marlies?
You know what? It's a fun time to be an ag nerd on the prairies. Yeah, Jesse and I have had a busy week, hence why we have no voices collectively. He's in Winnipeg, just attended the Emily Ag Enlightened Conference, and we had the Tallgrass Ventures One Ag event here in Calgary this week, all talking about innovation, early stage investing, collaboration, all of the exciting things. Again, why we have no voice. So it feels like a really exciting time. I want to flag, and I was talking to Jesse about this before. At the Tallgrass event, there was a couple of investors that came up from the US, and one of them pulled me aside before he left and said, "We have an incredible ecosystem here in Canada supporting ag tech entrepreneurs, and it's something we should be really proud of." And I took that as a personal pat on the back, but it is one for everyone on this call as well. So it's nice to be acknowledged that we're
Yes, it
moving in the
is.
right direction.
Yeah, we are so proud to be a part of it and to have all of your support. And we're going to learn a little bit of more about all the work you're doing. But before we dig in too much, we got to quickly acknowledge that we are here on treaty territory. And Startup TNT, along with our partners, want to recognize that we share a love of telling stories, and telling stories is an integral part of what we do together in the community. Even though we are not physically in the same venue tonight, we still connect through the one land that we all share. And wherever you may physically be, we hope tonight that you will enjoy the land that you are on. We honor those elders whose stories this land carries, and we acknowledge that this land is the traditional territory of the peoples of Treaties 1 through 11. This land was their traditional meeting place, ground, and gathering place for many indigenous peoples, and we acknowledge all the nations and the Métis people who have um, made this place home for generations. We acknowledge all who have walked on this land before us, and we aim to create a safe space for all Indigenous communities at TNT. Tonight, we honor their mission to gather community and share stories. And storytelling has been a part of this land for generations, and we've got a lot of amazing stories to weave into the great tapestry tonight as we continue to tell the story of this place. And with that, I would like to tell a quick story about Startup TNT and our journey as an organization. It's just been over 6 years since we started this organization. It started as Thursday night tradition for those that don't know, up in Edmonton, thanks to Zach Storms and Tim Lynn, who's here on the call with us. They've done a meetup 331 consecutive nights, and it's been an incredible journey. And with these investment summit programs, we run 47 to date. There are three more happening right now. So we're going to hit that 50 mark with the finale of this Agri-Food Summit, which is super exciting. And we're going to cross that $20 million barrier. We're already over 500 investors that we've engaged and nearly 120 companies. And Marlies, you've been around in the ecosystem for quite a while, not just at FCC, but in Calgary and seen some of the growth of TNT. It's been quite the ride, hasn't it?
I mean, don't make me sound too old. But yeah,
It's only been 6 years.
yeah, give or take. Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I'm relatively new to the FCC team, and before I had the privilege of working in an early stage ag tech fund here, which is a VC friend of TNT. So, first time caller, long time listener. It's been really cool to see, the evolution of TNT, and obviously I'm horribly biased, but to see your foray into ag and food. There's a natural synergy that you guys have built up TNT here, in the Western Canadian prairies and are expanding, and obviously that has some deep seated ties, pun intended, to all things ag and food, and so that expansion of TNT across Canada is obviously deeply aligned with how we look at ag and food at FCC, but really cool to see the evolution of that over time.
Yeah, and we're so thankful that you've been a part of that journey and so many other people like you that have made it possible. Just coming together with that simple motto, have fun, make friends, build companies. And what has it become? Just to hit it on another way, it's become the most active pre-seed investor in the country the last 2 years running. And I think we're on pace to go for the three-peat here this year. This is some of the stats about how we've grown over the years, continuing to deploy capital at that early stage where it's needed most to help companies really get off the ground and grow here at home so that they don't go and move abroad. We want to be that organization that is raising money for startups better than anyone else. And I'm so proud to be a part of this journey, and I'm really proud to be taking this over to Agri-Food. And I'll put the question to you, Marley, since you know this space really well, and we've talked about this for years. Why does agri-food innovation in Canada need a strong angel investor network?
I mean, it's not a problem or opportunity unique to agriculture, but it's certainly, prevalent in this space. Angel capital fills the earliest capital gap and confidence gap in early stage technology development. It's where you see, the greatest ideas that still need, a little bit of time to validate and get true product market fit. And it's before, institutional capital typically likes to play. And so the need for a robust angel network is huge. And again, when you think about angel investing, people typically invest in things that they're deeply familiar with or understand. And we want to pull and be able to leverage some of the market intelligence that exists within Western Canada, particularly, but nationally, in the agricultural space. So the more that we can get people engaged and thinking about how they play an active role in not only supporting companies financially, but with their expertise, their connectivity, can really make the flywheel move in terms of innovation, adoption, and validation.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I've seen the impact firsthand that people working in the industry can have when they're investing in back in innovation within their own industry and really helping those companies grow abroad while staying here at home. And with your support this past year, we've been running this Agri-Food Summit historically just once a year, but as of this year, thanks to FCC support, we're able to launch it twice a year. So we had a cohort back in the spring. This is what happened. We had 22 investors, many of them coming from the sectors. 38 companies applied and three received investment, raising over $300,000 in total capital. And we're hoping to meet these stats as we run this fall cohort as well. Um, and we couldn't do it at all without the support of all these amazing partners and sponsors around the table. Of course, FCC is powering the program, but we have our best friend forever at Natural Products Canada and Mercurture. We've got our close friends at BDC, MNP, Osler, Emily, Frankly, and Gowling. We have core funding partners and VC friends, and we have community supporters as well. Innovation Saskatchewan is here today, and we're learning from them and all of our other friends and stuff that are on the call. We'll be hearing a little bit more from them and the work that they're doing in the ecosystem. But let's give a virtual round of applause to all these people for putting their support to TNT and making this possible. We are a not-for-profit organization. Yes, the investors are in it for an ROI, but the people that are doing the work to put this all together, and it's no easy task, are doing this as part of a not-for-profit. And so we really are so thankful for all the sponsors and partners that work with us to make this all possible. And the biggest one of which, as I mentioned, is FCC. So I'm going to pass the floor over to Marlies here for a little bit, just to tell us a little bit more about how they're supporting the overall ecosystem here in Canada and the work that they're doing to support innovation in agri-food.
Jeez, I feel so special here tonight. Thanks. Thanks for teeing it up, Jesse. I won't spend too much time talking about us because we're really here to hear some great pitches today. But Farm Credit Canada, for those of you who may not be familiar with us, we offer a full range of financial and non-financial products and services tailored to the needs of an evolving industry like agriculture and food. We have We have the luxury of being deeply embedded in all things agriculture, through primary agriculture, all the way through food and beverage manufacturing and corporate and commercial lending. And FCC, we're proud to be, 100% invested in advancing Canadian agriculture and food. Um, you go to the next slide, Jesse, you can see a little bit more about who we are and what we do. We have, close to almost 3,000 employees all across Canada, over 100 offices, and just shy or just over, depending on the right person to ask, $60 billion of assets under management. Um, Part of that support that we think about when it comes to advancing agriculture and food was the development of FCC Capital, which is the recent commitment that FCC made to invest $2 billion by 2030 to advance Canadian ag tech and innovation across the country. And these investments are meant to catalyze the broader investing ecosystem by supporting organizations like TNT who are looking to fill very strategic commercial gaps in the market, but also direct investing as well. So if we go to the next slide, you can see a little bit more about what that $2 billion investment is. That includes our direct investment portfolio, which is focused a little bit more on growth stage capital. We have fund investments, so we're in upwards of 25 funds now, ranging from venture studios all the way through private equity. We have our strategic finance group that was also stood up in the last year that looks at flexible financing and high risk syndication. And then we have our value creation work, which is again where the likes of Jesse and others live, which is as we think about the commercialization pipeline for entrepreneurs, and we think about how we get innovation to improve productivity and efficiency into the hands of producers faster, how do we think about the resources required, the ecosystem partnerships that exist that can help catalyze that growth in a more meaningful and effective way. And so we think about that in the context of supporting incubators and accelerators and academic institutions, but also how we're thinking about innovation farms, smart farms, tech adoption, and then more broadly, how can we kind of do a one-to-one direct value creation with our portfolio and the portfolio companies of our funds and partners to really put the leverage and the weight of FCC behind advancing and shortening that pathway to commercialization for some of these companies. And so you'll see on this slide just a snapshot of some of the investments that we've made into funds that are investing directly into early stage innovation in Canadian ag tech. And then the next slide focuses a little bit more on some of those ecosystem partnerships. So we represent, or we've supported 7 accelerators now across 6 different provinces, 6 innovation farms, again, across 4 provinces, and just over $15 million of commitment in capital that is meant, again, to supplement the direct capital that we're putting into innovation. So we're really excited to be a part of this space. We recognize that technology is very broadly accepted as the tool and mechanism to advance and unlock those productivity and efficiency gains for ag production and for Canadian agriculture more broadly. And so, we want to put our money where our mouth is, and we want to be able to support the ecosystem in a meaningful and strategic way. And so happy to be here tonight, happy to support the work that you guys are doing with TNT, and really excited to see some of the pitches. Still an ag nerd at heart, so I'm excited to see what how everyone is thinking about reinventing the world we live in.
Yeah, and we are so thankful for your support and your direct support, not just FCC support, and all the work that you're doing, not just for us but for the whole ecosystem. I know I speak for everyone on the call that seriously Canada couldn't be doing it without you. So, yeah, thank you once again, and we're here though tonight for this pitch night for this major milestone in our investment summer process. And often people ask, how does this actually work here at TNT? A lot of people just see the pitches both, here at pitch night or at the finale, and they think, oh, that's how we're picking. It's a pitch competition. Well, it's not. This is not a pitch competition. It is a deal screening process where the investors have pre-committed money, right? They put the money in before they even see the companies. That's because they believe that there are great agri-food innovations happening here in Canada. There are great startups to invest in. They know we're going to find them. They believe in it. And so they're putting their money down. And then they're working together, they're collaborating, they're having fun, but they're also taking it very seriously and they're performing due diligence. We've already done some calls with some of the companies here today, and we'll be getting in even deeper with a few more, sorry, a few less, I should say. We're cutting down to our top 10 just after pitch night. And then eventually we cut down to a final five and we negotiate deal terms with each of them before we go to a finale night, which will be in Toronto on November 27th, our first ever finale out east. We're really excited for that to do at Toronto at 111. So whether you're watching this here live or watching the recording, if you're able to make it out to that finale event, I think you're gonna have a ton of fun because we announce investments live on stage, not just the winner, but also any side deals that are happening. It's really exciting. It's a ton of fun. So tell your friends all about it if they're in the Toronto area, because it's going to be a good time. And of course, there is always a virtual option as well, so you're welcome to join us that way. So yeah, just a part of a process. This is one step in this overall process. This isn't the end. So make sure you follow along over the weeks ahead to see how your company, your favorite companies do heading into the finale. Um, yeah. So who's pitching tonight? Marlies, we got a pretty big, broad group of companies here, don't we?
Yeah, I'm excited. I recognize a couple of these names. We're looking at tissue sampling, controlled environment, upcycled grain, you name it. It looks like we've got a pretty diverse group of companies coming
Absolutely.
at us tonight.
Yeah, lots of some CPG stuff in there as well. Working in the grocery supply chain, working out on the oceans. One of the exciting things of being coast to coast now with TNT. We actually had applications from every province in the country except for Newfoundland and Labrador. So tell your Newfie friends to apply next time, and also up in the territories. We'd love to get some of those folks in too. But we're getting out into the ocean tech stuff as well, which is really exciting. So yeah, everything from robots to bioengineering and everything in between. We've got here at TNT and the Agri-Food Summit, and for tonight. We've got 21 pitches, as I mentioned. Our investors couldn't pick just 20, so we ended up with 21. So we're going to have 7 blocks of 3 pitches each. Each company is going to get 3 minutes to pitch, and I encourage you all to cheer them on. I know you're a lot of people watching on YouTube. So for those joining us on Zoom, head on over there if you want to join the chat after you've done pitching. But I encourage people to think about that question there on the right. Marlies, maybe you just want to hit on that a little bit more about how we can be all working together to help these companies.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be an entrepreneur in isolation. It takes a village. And I think one of the beautiful things about TNT is that you've really taken the time to help kind of build a national community to around advancing commercialization. But founders need more than capital. I mean, capital is a big thing. We all get that, but they need help. They need introductions, they need resources, they need perspective. And so if you see any of these entrepreneurs tonight that you think to yourself, hey, that's a space I deeply understand, I might be able to add some value, think about what that value could be. Um, because this is what a community like this really, really does. And so think beyond just to check, think about what these companies may need and how you might be able to support.
Absolutely, yes, it takes a village. So let's all be working together and building these companies and building this great country across everywhere. All right. What's next after this? If you're out in the prairies here, you're welcome to join us in Saskatoon, Regina, Edmonton, or Calgary. Fortunately, wasn't able to put anything together out in Vancouver, but I'm also in Winnipeg. If anybody happens to be here, shoot me a message. Love to meet up with you. And if you're so inclined to be heading out to those spots, you're welcome to donate to the bar tab so people can have a good time tonight. Cheers at startuptnt.com. That's actually how the two co-founders met each other, buying each other a drink. Tim bought Zach a drink the first time they met at the happy hour, and we're so proud to continue that tradition here today with the donation to the bar tab at the after party. So that's it. We're done with our opening here. I know it took a little while, but let's get into the pitches and welcome to the stage our first co-host of the evening. We have Rishi from Natural Products Canada coming to the stage. How you doing today, Rishi?
Doing good, Jesse. Feels like we haven't seen each other in a while.
I know, just 48 hours. As Marlise and I were saying, we were hanging out in Calgary together with Natural Products Canada. Your whole team was there from across the country, and it was so great to see all the amazing work you're doing. So, for those that don't know, tell everybody what is Natural Products Canada, and what are you guys doing in the Canadian ecosystem?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Rishi Mankadi. I'm the Regional Director of Natural Products Canada. I'm based out of Vancouver, BC. A few words about NPC. We are a nonprofit organization, federally funded by ISED, with a mandate to support startup companies in their commercialization journey and to position Canada to capture a piece of the $4 trillion global bioeconomy. We work with the early stage companies that have novel biological innovations and are market disruptors, companies whose technologies can be applied to large and growing industry verticals. We do this by offering a combination of advice, strategic connections, and non-dilutive capital up to $350,000. We are a lean team. Jesse got to meet us in Calgary yesterday. We are a lean team across Canada. We have a national presence with a regional focus. If you want to learn more about NPC, please connect with me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email. My email is rishi, R-I-S-H-I, at naturalproductscanada.com. And I'm happy to kick off Startup TNT's pitch night. We've got a great lineup of companies pitching here today. I recognize some faces, some of the names. With that, let's roll into the first block of presentations.
Let's do
First up, first up is Sustainable. Sustainable turns brewery spent grain into high fiber, high protein barley flour and brewer aligned pretzel crackers, thereby upcycling a byproduct from breweries and providing a nutritious ingredient for food makers. Over to Clinton Bishop to tell us more about Sustainable.
Thanks so much, Rishi. As the slides get up, I'll just get started since I have the 3 minutes. Hi, I'm Clinton from Sustainable, where we turn beer waste into high fiber, high protein, upcycled barley flour. Breweries face a rising cost to move heavy, wet grain. Food processors need affordable fiber that perform in real products. Sustainable connects these needs by supplying consistent, food-safe, upcycled barley flour. Now, how does that flour work in our day-to-day? We provide clear inclusion ranges for cookies, crackers, and whatever else you can dream up. Fiber and protein go up while handling and taste stay on target. That trials and speeds up adoption. Collecting near source, applying low temperature drying, and preserving our functionality, milling to spec, and then supplying the flour where it's needed. That's our local micro facility approach, where we're bringing that capacity closer to the breweries, standardizing quality, and cutting moisture and freight. IP work is in progress to strengthen our protectable elements as we scale. We're operating in a large market and have a path to $32 million of SOM by 2030. Buyers want better for you with real impact. We win on processor first specs, near source supply, and a credible upcycled story. Facility 1 raises throughput, lowers our logistics and labor per ton, and moves COGS towards target. Each production line achieves about 2.5 million kilograms of flour per year, giving dependable supply at scale. We supply flour for pilots and hold 7 LOIs indicating about 120,000 tons of initial pull per year. We have over $300,000 in historical sales, NRC IRAP report support, and access to about $3.2 million of equipment, we acquired an 83% discount. We're also in the final talks for a large product rollout that could see 1 million kilograms of flour demand per year. Commissioning our first facility will convert those LOIs into repeatable business, and then we start replicating that city by city with the same specs and onboarding. We consistently learn from the market to identify our future cities for growth, transition as volumes rise, and the unit economics improve. That utilization helps us drive margins as we fill capacity, processing costs per kilogram come down, and logistics per ton decline, and the gross margin expands towards a steady state level. Conventional high-fiber barley brings scale, but not the upcycled story. Other upcyclers are bringing awareness, but they're often focused on other formats that we're not chasing. We win with the processor first, that near-source supply, and predictable inclusion guidance. Our team is made up of people with experience in grain, manufacturing, quality, finance, and B2B sales, supported by a broad network of advisors in ESG and scaling up. We're raising $2.5 million on a convertible note. We have a $10 million pre-money valuation. The use of funds is for our facility and CapEx, operating expenses, and key personnel hires in sales, operations, and quality. Sustainable helps breweries cut costs and turns a byproduct into premium ingredient food processors can use. We're ready to scale city by city with your help. I look forward to connecting to discuss Sustainable as a timely opportunity.
All right, thank you, Clinton. Moving on from Alberta to Ontario, the competition for brewers' spent grains heats up. TerraBio Industries next. TerraBio has developed a platform that can break open the brewer's spent grains and separate valuable components without compromising functionality. They make next-generation ingredients from Agri-Food side streams. To tell us more about TerraBio, I'd like to introduce Steve George.
Hi, everyone. My name is Steve George. I'm the CEO of TerraBio Industries. And I'd like to talk to you about achieving impact through scalable upcycling. Now, if we zoom out to the big picture problem, in spite of every single advancement that we've seen over the years in seed genetics and agricultural practices, machinery, robotics, we cannot hope to feed 10 billion people by 2050. That's just a hard fact that we have to face right now. However, one approach to plug that gap is actually by taking agri-food side streams and upcycling them. That could be a 20% boost in agricultural supply right now, and it's a $200 billion opportunity. So that's pretty exciting. And Terra is going into this by upcycling brewers' spent grain, like Rishi said. That's the byproducts of the beer brewing industry, of course. And what we do is we create 3 ingredients that are very attractive to food and beverage manufacturers right now. So the first one is Terra Malt. Terra Malt is a syrup that can be used for brewing. It can be used for sauces, baked goods, things like that. And we produce a second product, Terra Fibra, can be used in baked goods, pet care applications. It's very good because it has very good sensory notes. And we also produce a protein that can be used in high protein breads, snack bars. It has really good pet care applications, and also has a cocoa extender application that I will talk about later. In all of these applications, we really make sure that we're targeting a customer pain point that makes it so that they really need our products, not just that it would be a nice to have. And all of this has led to traction. So at the bottom, you can see a selection of the small scale trials that we have ongoing right now or have completed. In these, customers take products and they try it out. And then we move them to paid pilots that we essentially perform larger scale runs for them, and they test out in very, very particular applications. Now, to talk about one very exciting recent application, a major baker came to us and asked us if our products could be used as a cocoa extender to replace part of the cocoa in their formulations. We tested out our protein and we realized in that particular formulation, we could replace 50% of the cocoa with Proteina, our protein. And that has led to a whole host of trials being conducted with some major corporations. So our ask from you is for $700,000. That $700,000 is going to be used to start commercial production in a contract manufacturing organization by the middle of next year. In addition, it also sets us up really well for our future by helping us finalize one supply side and one customer side partnership agreements and executing on these agreements. And in addition to that, we are able to leverage about 2.3 million Canadian dollars in applied grants and about $400,000 in anticipated revenue. About 140,000 of this round has already been committed. About 250,000 is in due diligence, and there's still significant space left over for interested investors. I'll close off by saying the team that's doing this work is led by Ricardo and myself, and the team is committed to making this a massive commercial success. And we invite you to join us on our journey to change the world. Thank you.
Great presentation, Steve. Next in the lineup is Rana Shavoshi from FICO Industries. FICO Industries is a bi-coastal company, if I can use that word, with presence in both PEI and British Columbia. FICO creates seaweed-based bioplastics as a replacement for conventional agricultural plastics, thereby offering a compostable and a soil-safe alternative that helps farmers reduce waste and emissions. Over to you, Rana.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the introduction. Let me just present and share my screen. Can everyone see that screen? Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Right. So hi, my name is Rana Travoshi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of FICO Technologies, Inc. Our mission is really to stop eating plastic, and by doing so, create seaweed-based bioplastics for agriculture in particular. We're headquartered in Canada, but of course in the East Coast as well. The problem we're tackling is plastic pollution. This is a photo that I took in 2016 of Semporna, Malaysia. It was the first time that I personally experienced plastic pollution at scale. And it really stayed with me and made me question why we keep using plastic and how it keeps getting into our bodies. And the answer really is our food systems. We need about 50 million tons of plastic waste to feed us annually. Plastic is needed in every single step of food production, from farming to packaging, distribution, as well as the grocery retail sector. And what we're aiming to develop is a earth digestible and non-toxic biomaterial that is derived from seaweed, which is grown in partnership with Indigenous nations. And the way we do this is by taking seaweed as well as local circular material waste, putting it through a biorefinery type process where we extract the valuable components. We take those extracts and we make them into pellets. These pellets are then used in any plastics infrastructure. So we don't need new equipment to take these pellets and process them. They're just a plug and play into the infrastructure already there. And then we develop films and coatings specific for agriculture. Our process runs at 85% efficiency currently. So that means that we're 40% higher than the majority of our competitors in terms of efficiency. And that also means that our costs are 40% lower per kilogram of the final product that we develop. This process can handle any kind of seaweed that we've tested, whether it's red, green, or brown. It can also handle any seaweed from different stabilization points. So that means it can be dried, it can be frozen. We're testing fresh seaweed as well. So we can use it from anywhere in the world and also in any form it arrives. Where we win compared to a lot of our competitors, both seaweed-based bioplastics compared to conventional plastics and agricultural films and plastics, are that our product is fully home compostable. It breaks down in 4 weeks in a home or farm compost. We're the only biomaterials company talking about the end of life and ensuring that we can break down the product, but we've also developed a way to recycle the polymer. So if it is collected, it can be recycled. Our product is 100% bio-based. There are no petroleum products or derivatives in there. And our real goal is to save farmers money. I've worked with farmers for a long time as a research scientist. Our goal is really to save them money on the operational side in terms of labor and landfilling fees, which are very expensive. The market that we're targeting is the global biodegradable film market. From that, we're targeting the North American and EU region, which is $540 million of that $1.2 billion larger TAM. And over the next 5 years, we anticipate about 1% market capture, about $5 million. In the beginning, it'll be a lot of founder-led sales where we're working directly with indoor agricultural producers like mushroom farmers as well as greenhouse growers. In the long term, the most cost-effective thing to do is to sell our pellets to the plastics manufacturers. That's the best way to go about doing it. And to date, we've obtained actually, as of yesterday, $433,000 of non-dilutive funding. We've taken that funding and taken an idea to prototype to an MVP. We've done over 300 customer discovery interviews, really trying to understand product market fit. And we've identified an urgent market demand as well. We filed for trademark in Q4. We're in due diligence with NorthX, Front Row Ventures, BDC currently. We have 5 LOIs in discussion, 1 finalized so far, the second in negotiation. And we're planning pilots that for next year with these early adopters so we can generate revenue about 60K, increase our production output to 200 rolls, and then scale our company to 18 million by year 5. And these are just some of the partners that we work with. So our team has over 50 years of shared expertise in seaweeds, marine natural product development, biorefining, and aquaculture. We're supported by a wonderful group of mentors who help bring in more expertise on impact strategy, as well as marketing and sustainable biodegradable plastics as well.
Sorry to cut you off
Yep.
right now, but we're gonna have to wrap it up there.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
Awesome.
That was
Thank
my
you so
pleasure,
much.
so
It was a
thanks.
great pitch, and thank you, Rishi, for taking us through that block of pitches. We're so thankful for Natural Products Canada's support of the program here at Startup TNT and of all these awesome companies. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night, Rishi.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Marlies, what did you think of our first block of pitches? We're just a little bit into the night now. We got a big bunch to go, but I think that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Oh, there you go.
You're already sick of listening to me. You've got me muted. Yeah, no, I thought that was great. I mean, the last pitch, the number that stuck out to me was the $50 million or 50 million tons of plastic annually that we see in the agriculture system alone. I mean, that doesn't capture what we're seeing in the consumer market. Like the ability for these companies to be thinking about how we can upcycle from waste material and repurpose is really awesome. So it was really cool to see.
Yes. Really cool to see such a diversity here right out of the gate. Okay, let's keep the good times rolling. And we don't, unfortunately, our co-host for the next block couldn't be here. So big shout out to RBCX and all the amazing work that they're doing in the ecosystem. They've got some great programs for startups, including credit cards, bank accounts, and they have a whole funding arm. They invest in VC funds as well. So if you haven't connected with your local RBCX rep, please reach out to us at Startup TNT, and we'd be happy to make a warm intro to the folks over there, as they've got some amazing products for early stage startups that really need financing to scale, right? And working capital. And that our next block of pitches here are working in the CPG and grocery space, and they need a lot of that. And so I'd like to welcome to the stage Prairie Goodness Snacks, which is a Canadian family-owned company creating 100% lentils and chickpea snacks using locally sourced ingredients. So let's give it up for Pedram. Welcome to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Just 1 second.
Let's get the right deck up. That's okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pedram. I'm the founder of Prairie Goodness Snacks, based in the BC, Vancouver, and we do manufacturing in Saskatchewan at the prairies. A little about us. Actually, our story began in 2023. My wife, Sadaf, and I, both immigrant to Canada, wanted to build something that reflected our values and our new homes. When our son was diagnosed with the celiac disease, it opened our eyes to how few nutritious local allergen-free snacks were available. That's how Prairie Goodness and Chipples was born, out of love from our family and the passion for creating better for you snack. Consumer today, actually, we identify the problems. What's the problems? The consumer today want the healthy snacks, but most what's available is either grain-based, fried, or imported, often not nutritious as they appear. There are a real gap in the market for some things local, protein-rich, and allergen-free. We fill that gap. The Chipples, they are baked, not fried, made from lentil and chickpeas, which means they are naturally high in protein, fiber, and grain-free. We are giving people clean label snacks without sacrificing the taste or crunch. These are our chips. We call them Chipples. You call them Delicious, made from simple ingredients, lentil, chickpeas, and it comes in 4 different flavors. What makes Chipples different from other snacks out, actually? It's made of 100% lentil chickpeas. There is no fillers. They're plant-based protein snacks, grain-free, baked, not fried. And the whole bag 25-gram protein, 10-gram fiber. Made in Canada, and all the ingredients coming from Canadian prairies. Certified gluten-free, non-GMO, and obvious vegan. Our main consumer are health-conscious Canadians, especially younger generation, vegetarians, and local food lovers. But our biggest supporters are Canadian families looking for nutritious snacks for their kids. We are supporting our retailer partners with a strong marketing, including branded store display boxes, social media influencers, and in-store staff to drive the sales and the visibility. Cheapos versus other, brands on the market. There is two brands, Simply 7 Enjoy Life. It's only lentil chips in the markets, considering that they are made in the US and use potato starch as the main ingredients. And none of them are grain-free, protein-rich, fiber-rich. They are all fried. The only other chickpeas-based product in Canada is Picasso, which fried, while ours is baked, and we offer larger bag at a lower price. So basically, as you can see right now, our margin is around 25% because we have a smaller production volume, we can get better raw materials processing. But our goal is for 2026 to scale up to selling about $500,000, which will improve our purchasing process and increase our scale. That way, we aim to reach about 40% margin, and with the further 70% yearly growth in 2029, we can potentially hit 55% margin when we hit $5 million in sales. In terms of the funding right now, we are looking about $400,000 that we need. We will put into the scaling production, marketings, and brand growth, and the rest will be develop our teams and operations and R&D. We are in more than 200 locations all across Canada. Nature's Fair, Whole Foods, Fresh Street Markets, Healthy Planets, and we're getting more listings. A little about us. I have over 20 years experience in the food beverage industry, including with the global companies like Bell Group and Danone. Sarah brings deep experience in the operation of finance from her time with the UNICEF and the Government of Canada. We are proud to have been nominated for BC Food Beverage Emerging Brands for this year, and to be one of the Canadian companies selected by Protein Industry Canada for the National Innovations Partnership. This recognition validates both our products innovation and our mission. And this is our big vision. Looking ahead, our focus is scaling up, expanding to the 3,000 more stores all across Canada, establishing our own production facility, launching smaller on-to-go packs for vending and travel retailers, and exploring entry to the US markets, starting with the Washington, Oregon, and California. Thank you so much for your time. We are proud to be building the Canadian snack brands that is healthy, local, and truly delicious. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Pedram.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for kicking off this block. We're excited to be digging into some more companies, and so great to see a company on the coast, but with a prairie connection. Let's keep the CPG fun rolling here with our next company, Heel Tea, pioneering a new category in the $100 billion beverage market with a sparkling herbal iced tea made from 4 organic ingredients. Let's give it up for Layla.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. So we are Heel Tea, the better for you beverage. It's a sparkling herbal iced tea, and we were thirsty for better. So we were looking everywhere for a better beverage, and we couldn't find it. And it didn't fit our criteria. So it had to be sourced here, ingredients as much as possible, healthy ingredients, but also taste, right? Because taste is so important. So we got to digging, and I started the recipe with our Italian chef Francesco. And you know how Italians are, they love their food, they love their beverages, so it's always high quality, always amazing taste. And he got to brewing in his kitchen, and it was just the perfect timing, because my dad had an open heart surgery, and the surgeon came out. He said, if he doesn't stop his bad habit of drinking sodas, I don't know what I can do for him to save him. So it just, everything serendipitously came in, and we just were like, okay, this is a product that needs to happen. So we've started this product launch in 2022, and since then we're in over 800 locations, where we just launched at No Frill Maxi, we're all the healthy channels, the Metro, etc. We're launching it in Walmart in March next year. We have a following. We're just we've won many awards, and it's thanks to this amazing team that we have. We have myself as the co-founder, Francesco, Janine and Dario, who are CPG, Salesforce, and software developers. So they have experience with so many things that they've been helping us. And Nicola, who's from Danone and Procter Gamble, that's helping us lead the way in everything, sales and everything. So we have 4 flavors. 2 herbs always. It's freshly brewed herbs, lemon juice, maple syrup. There's no preservatives, there's no colors, there's no fillers. It's really just those 4 natural plant-based ingredients. And every flavor has a different benefit. So you can take our ginger chamomile as a natural ginger ale, or hibiscus mango if you feel more fruity, peppermint to uplift, and nettle rosemary tastes just like an iced tea. And it's very lightly sparkling. So people that love sparkling, they love it. And people that don't like sparkling as much, they just love it as well. So we also won last year the Kantar Winter Sparkling category. It's the best product of the year as the sparkling water. So we were super excited. But what's really exciting is that we're really on track for the market. Like in Canada, the functional beverage is growing all the time. But in the functional beverage, there's the ready-to-drink sparkling tea, and there's just a few brands, like 3, and we're one of them that's creating that traction, and it's going to be going to 5% CAGR by 2030 in Canada and in the States, which we already sell a little bit in the States, and we have Nicola, who's in New York, who's going to help us expand there. And they over there, it's more like a 10% CAGR. So it's the fastest growing category in functional beverage, and we're leading that way. We're pioneering that way. We have competition, and there's a lot of competition in beverage, and we won't hide, but there's nothing exactly quite like us. There's sparkling tea, but there's no sparkling herbal iced tea. There's nothing with just simple ingredients like we have. Nobody uses maple syrup, etc. So we're really different, and the taste is just quite beautiful. I hope you get to try it. So right now we're on track to make $1 million this year. And we have the realistic traction that this is all with like accounts that we have already locked in, that we know that we're opening next year, and the traction that we're feeling everywhere is like 300%, 30 to 300% in some categories. And we have, we're going to be in the tens of millions in the next 5 years for sure. And we have an upside also. Sorry, I changed a little bit too much, but we have an upside because we haven't even tapped into the US market, and we haven't reached all the saturation of Canada. So we know that, past 2030, we're for sure a $50 billion company. The use of funds is basically now to buy truckloads of cans because we're still digital printing. That's going to help us save like 20%, increase production quantities. So we have overstock for 3 to 6 months, negotiate raw materials. So we have, overstock again, so we can, fulfill demand really quickly. It's going to be used for business development, brokers, target expansions, marketing as well, because we haven't been able to have that extra loose cash for marketing. We've been doing it all in-house, and it's been doing great. Some people ask us, do we have a PR firm? And we don't. So we're doing good. But
Layla,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna need you to wrap it up there.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you for listening.
I love the enthusiasm. I love all these founders' enthusiasm. I feel bad cutting people off, but I got to make it fair for all those involved. I'm sure Layla would be happy to talk to anybody who's interested in learning more, as you can clearly tell from that enthusiastic pitch, and we love it. And yeah, I'm getting hungry here. But we're going to keep it rolling with our next pitch of the evening. We have Ascent Innovations developing a sensor for the spoilage and food safety industry. Let's welcome to the stage Mark Couture. Oh, we just got you on mute there, Mark.
Is it good now?
You're good.
Yeah. Perfect, thank you. Yeah, hi everyone. So it's great to present here tonight. So I'm Mark, the founder of and CEO of Ascent Innovation. So a Vancouver-based spin-off company developing smart sensors to improve food safety and minimize waste. Yeah, so do you know that more than 30% of food produced worldwide is wasted? In North America alone, food waste costs over $170 billion every year. These wastes are distributed all over the food supply chain from farm to table. So one major driver arising from traditional base before label. These labels are based on static estimation and don't reflect actual freshness condition. In fact, studies show that 84% of food discarded near its label date is still safe to eat. So the current monitoring methods are limited. Lab tests are slow, costly, and cannot provide continuous freshness tracking across the supply chain. These create inefficiencies and unnecessary food loss. The food industry needs a smarter data-driven solution. At Essen, we develop advanced sensors that detect early stage of food spoilage. Designed for meat product, the sensor can integrate into food packaging. By connecting to the IoT ecosystem and leveraging AI predictive analytics, the sensor provides real-time freshness insight to optimize product shelf life and improve inventory management. Every year, Canadian food retailers lose about $1 billion from meat spoilage. Modified atmosphere packaging, which accounts for 45% of meat products, represent a clear entry point for our solution. In Canada, MIP market is estimated at $5 billion. Meanwhile, the smart packaging market is growing rapidly as printing electronics reach commercial maturity, enabling faster adoption across the industries. Our go-to-market strategy targets high-value products, starting with premium meat, where waste create the largest financial impact. Revenue is generated through direct sensor sales and licensing. So we have demonstrated the proof of concept and showing outstanding sensing performance and signed our first LOI for pilot testing with food producers. As the primary inventor of the core technology, I'm leading its development. The commercialization strategy is guided by a seasoned advisor with wide expertise of food industry, spanning from food retail, sustainable packaging, and circular economy. The product development is also supported through academic collaboration. We are seeking to raise $600,000 to accelerate product development, expand the team. Aside, we are also looking for strategic partnership with food industries to initiate pilot testing. Our long-term vision is to make food safer, reduce waste, and build a more efficient food system. Thank you, and we'll be happy to connect to share more about us.
Wow, thanks, Mark. That's a great pitch there. And if I hadn't learned it already when I first met with you, there's some really interesting learning there about the modified atmospheric packaging. So I encourage people to look into that. And Marlise, welcoming you back to stage with me. Are you feeling as hungry and as thirsty as I am right now?
I was just gonna say, I feel like we should have done CPG at the end. But I will do a call out to all the entrepreneurs. I'm happy to be a guinea pig if you want to send chips and sparkling iced tea my way. I'd be happy to validate that they're wonderful products.
Well, you heard it here first. Marlise is the official taste tester at FCC.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yes. Well, let's keep the good times rolling here, and I'm going to welcome a great friend from Saskatchewan to the stage. We have Noreen from Innovation Saskatchewan. How you doing tonight, Noreen?
Hi, Jesse. Thanks for the intro. And hi, everyone. This is Noreen Alley. I'm with Innovation Saskatchewan. I'm the Senior Manager for Ecosystem Development, and I'm based at the great city of the Queen, Regina, Saskatchewan. At Innovation Saskatchewan, we're dedicated to supporting our vibrant tech sector and research community. Our research and technology parks, both in Saskatoon and Regina, provide flexible and specialized spaces to help innovative companies grow, and our core funding programs like the AgTech Growth Fund, which helps connect startups with industry to develop targeted solutions, or start the show, the STSI, the Saskatchewan Technology Startup Incentive Program, is the most aggressive tax credit incentive in Canada for investors to invest in early tech startup in Saskatchewan with a 45% investment tax credit. Together, both our parks and programs help grow Saskatchewan companies and help entrepreneurs grow their great ideas here. And with that, I'd like to introduce Super GeoAI, transforming the ag landscape with its innovative AI-powered solutions, automating grain bin volume measurement, crop yield forecasting, and wildlife damage. Weeping, you have the mic.
Just stop come forward, you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah. So good evening. My name is Wei Ping Zhang. I'm the founder of the SuperGI. So as we mentioned, University of Saskatchewan AGF funding, we really appreciate our angel investment for our technology. So at the SuperGI, we use AI to automate manual tasks in agriculture. These tasks are too dangerous, too difficult, or too boring for people to do. Insurance provider and producer wanting to know how many bushels are inside the green bin. It's a dangerous job for people to climb the green bin inside. It's dusty and dark, make it difficult to get the amount of green. With our AI solution, it's a piece of cake. Our AI driving drone will automatically fly, measure the green bin with 99% accuracy, and it takes only 1 minute per green bin. Traditionally, insurance adjuster and producer guess and negotiate the wildlife damage, hail damage in a field. It's time consuming, and the producer may have to harvest before the adjuster arrive. With our AI solution, it's simple. Just one click, our AI driving drone will automatically measure wildlife damage with over 95% accuracy, and it takes only 10 minutes per quarter section. Producers often face tough decisions on whether, when, and where to spare fungicides. Crop fields are too large for people to walk around. With our AI solution, it's simple. Our AI-driven drone will automatically fly along the drone and provide accurate information on whether, when, and where to spare fungicides. Over the past 5 years, our gross income has doubled every year. This fiscal year, we have already achieved more than $4 million revenue. We expect to keep doubling or even tripling our income every year and to reach more than $200 million annual income within the next 5 years. We are already a profit startups. Thanks for the University of Saskatchewan support us from the beginning. So why do we still need to raise money? We wanted to become the world's leading AI cloud platform for agriculture insurance assessment. Some of our team members left high-paying jobs over $300,000 a year at a company like Google, Huawei to join us because they believe we can reach an IPO within 10 years. And why TNT? Many of our partners, producers, and adjusters who have support and helped us, it's a great opportunity for them to invest our startup company through the TNT program. And that's all. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Wei Ping. Over to you, Noreen, to introduce our next.
Yeah, next up we have Andrew from Chariot Command using vision-powered AI and versatile camera-based system to provide farmers with insights into the mechanical health of their entire fleet. Andrew, you have the mic.
Thank you, Noreen. Howdy, everybody. My name is Andrew John Lehman, CEO, co-founder of Chariot Command, and I'm also a big farm kid. Growing up in ag, I got to see a lot of problems, feel a lot of problems. I decided I'm going to try and do something about it. So the past 2 years, Chariot has been in the fields, listening, learning, and testing, asking farmers, what are your problems? What do you need? And they were not holding back. Machine costs are not manageable anymore. Machines are more complex to fix. The right to repair is or lack thereof is costing farmers thousands a year in service. Farmers need the machines working. Technology is becoming a hindrance, and they want someone they can trust and work with. And as we dug deeper, we kept finding that it was going back to downtime. And that downtime actually had a price to it, coming up to about $500 an hour. So for every time there's a flat tire, every time something won't start, there is a cost to that farmers are feeling. It doesn't matter what it is, there is a cost. And that comes up to about $12.5 billion that North American farmers are facing per year. But that was actually only the start of it. And what we noticed was this was a $1 trillion problem that all industries face. Not just ag, not just trucking, not just oil and gas. So this is a massive problem. So how do you go about solving that? Well, you build something pretty cool, doing it a little bit differently. And so we use cameras and thermal sensors as a technological backbone. So we put cameras in combines to for fire. We put cameras on the back of tractors to watch the implements, watch for bearing failures. We're doing something very differently. We're not needing those embedded systems. How do we make money? We sell hardware and tiered subscriptions to farmers, and also we help sell farmers data if they choose. Farmers grow data, we help them harvest those returns, whether through rebates, discounts, or premium reductions. When you have a big problem, you have the right team. We went across North America and found them. We found the right people, business people, engineers, and farmers to build this. And we've set up in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, in the heart of ag in Canada. And so how are we here? Or why are we here? Because we're looking for help. It's time to accelerate. We need money to help the farmers. And we're getting ready over this winter to be prepared for spring 2026. We're going to be in those fields. We hope to see you there with us. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Next up, I'd like to introduce an innovator in the agri-biotech field, offering micro-powered solution to boost crop resilience and yield against drought, heat, and fungal diseases. Next up, Prasad, you have the mic.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Noreen, for introducing me. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Prasad Daida, founder and CEO of Biorimor and Biosciences. We are powering resilient agriculture through microbial innovation because global agriculture is facing a dual crisis through biotic and abiotic stresses. So through biotic stresses, especially fusarium, fungal disease causing lots of damage and loss to the wheat and other crops, as well as changing the climate conditions. There is enhanced drought and heat stresses. And most of the farmers are relying mostly on the chemical pesticides, which are harmful to the environment, and also they're costly, and also increasing negativity over usage of these chemicals. So there is a urgent need to look for the sustainable and science-based alternatives to address this problem. So for this kind of problem, it is open up for the very massive market opportunity, especially towards the bioproduct market. So when you look at the market figures, present market value is almost 9 billion, which is expected to projected value would be around 32 billion by 2034, with annual growth rate of 15.4. That means almost 3.6 times of expansion in a decade. It indicates that massive shift in the bioproduct market we can observe on that. So in this scenario, Biorimor have come up with a technology, proprietary microbial technology platform, which create lots of these problems for the solving. And our product has lots of advantages. This is eco-friendly and also economical, and it is tank mix compatible. And this product can be used both on organic as well as the conventional farmings. and it has a broad spectrum of advantage, so that not only on the wheat, wherever the fusarium infections or diseases are there on other crops, this product can be utilized. So in a short term, our product can deliver powerful performance and sustainable impact. So our farmer-centric approach we can build through networking and on-site demos and marketing strategies. We can get the trust from the farmers, so that we can get into the farmers market easily. And according to our plan, we would be launching the product in Saskatchewan, and uh, then we would be for moving forward to expand in other provinces and globally. So our professional team gets decades of expertise in developing the bioproduct and also the microbial technology and sustainable agriculture innovations. And also we bought the trust and we gained scientific advantage as well as the market expansion
Sorry,
with the
Prasad.
collaboration. Yeah.
I gotta cut you off there. Thanks
Okay.
for sharing the pitch with you. And if anyone is interested in connecting more, they can connect
Thanks.
with you separately. So thank you, Prasad, and thank you to Noreen and all the pitches there in that last block. If you didn't pick up on what we were doing there, this is what all three were Saskatchewan companies. But what's really cool is that there are a number of companies like we saw Prairie Goodness earlier connecting in with Saskatchewan in the prairies, right? Even if they're in other areas, they're definitely moving around. And that's one of the really cool things about Agri-Food, Marlies, that companies aren't really as regionalized as you might think in this country, right? People are always connecting across the country, collaborating and working in different markets, right?
Totally. I think if you're an innovator, you need to be thinking about building a globally competitive business. And so we want to see entrepreneurs thinking outside of their own market, outside of their own region, and thinking about broader applicability. There are a couple of things that stuck out to me that I think both Data and Andrew touched on. Sorry, losing my voice. Which was the producer-centric approach. If we're not generating value for our Canadian producers, then these innovations will not be sustainable. So it was great to hear a couple of the entrepreneurs tonight really narrowing in on that. And I also loved Andrew's point around trying to find a way to get farmers paid for their data, which is an ongoing discussion point, but I love to hear it. So
Yeah.
excited to hear more.
Yeah, well, let's keep the good time rolling and invite our newest friend to the stage over at Gowling. Let's welcome Jeff Coles to the stage here. How you doing tonight, Jeff? How are you thinking about this? Is your first pitch night as a friend of TNT and a co-host. How are you enjoying it this evening?
Ooh, it's great. I'm feeling the pressure though, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
got to
it's
keep it
great to be
tight.
here, Jesse. Great,
Well,
great to be here.
tell us a little bit more about your work there at Gowling and why you're supporting the TNT Agri-Food program.
Yeah, so I moved. So I'm from the Maritimes. I moved my practice out here to Alberta probably about 7 years ago, and my first exposure to some of the ag technologies out here was actually I represented a Saskatchewan company in a litigation, and it was just really insightful to see their technology and how they'd grown the business. So since then, I've been trying to do as much as I can in the ag space from a legal perspective. So I'm with Gowlings. We're a national firm. As I mentioned, we have offices across the country. Unfortunately, not in the Atlantic provinces, but I do my best to find clients there so I can have an excuse to head back and visit family and friends. But we're also an international firm, so we help our clients grow globally with offices throughout Europe, Middle East, and China.
Doing some amazing work across the board. I know you also do some work in IP with your colleague Patrick, who's also here on the call. Shout out to him. If people want to learn a little bit more about how to get all of that awesome work that you're doing and working with their company, how do they do it?
I mean, get in touch. But yeah, Patrick and I are both on the line tonight. We're both technology lawyer and patent agents, trademark agents. So yeah, we're here to help. Don't hesitate to reach out. We work with a lot of startups and we try and focus on helping them grow in a cost-conscious way.
Yeah, and it's really important. That's exactly what we look for in our partners. We've got a few legal friends here on the call today. Obviously, there's different services out there to encourage you to reach out to Gowling to learn a little bit more about their services. So, Jeff, though, we got to get back to the pitches. Who's up next? Let's keep it going.
Yeah, next we have CredoSense. So CredoSense is in the field of precision agriculture, having developed AI-powered diagnostic tools that deliver valuable crop health information through the integration of plant, soil, and microclimate data. They've got a lightweight, portable leaf chamber system, innovative device that empowers crop advisors, agronomists, and farmers to increase yields, reduce input costs, and strengthen climate resilience. And with that, I'll hand it over to Abdul Halim.
Hey, hello, everyone. All right, so I am Halim, CEO of CredoSense. And at CredoSense, we are setting the new standard in crop health diagnostics. Why this matters? Because every wrong decision costs farmers billions each year. Let me put it this way. Imagine a doctor who diagnoses disease just by looking at your face. Looks convincing, but it's not real diagnosis. True diagnosis comes from physiology, not guesswork. That's exactly what's happening in our agriculture today. Today's tools rely on proxies, not physiology. They are fragmented and too many disconnected devices, too much manual work. They are also reactive. Growers act only after the damage is done. And the outcome is 14% yield lost, 40% more inputs, and $70 wasted per acre. CredoSense is changing that. Our all-in-one portable leaf chamber system delivers true crop health diagnostics by directly measuring crop physiology, soil, and microclimate all in under 1 minute. It then provides AI-powered agronomic recommendation, boosting yield up to 25%, cutting inputs up to 40%, and delivering full ROI within a year. And this is the competitive landscape where we stand apart. These are the tools that only measures one part of the puzzle. Some rely only on secondary data. Many are research grade and are not really designed for real-world agronomy. CredoSense is different. It is the fast, comprehensive, field-ready solution for true crop health diagnostics. And our market is big and growing. $24 billion in North America alone and growing at a 14% CAGR. We are starting with $1.1 billion sum over the next 5 years by winning the influencer first, the crop advisors and agronomists who guides millions of acres. From there, we'll expand to indoor, specialty, and large-scale farms. And here is the result. Our hardware as a service model is scaling fast. In one growing season, we have signed 33 customers, including Antara Agronomy, Cavendish Farms, who manages thousands to millions of acres. And at this pace, we are on track for 60 paying customers by spring 2026, our key milestone for this round. Our tiered HaaS model is capital efficient. We are generating about $11,000 ARR per customer. We have a robust financial model supporting our projection. And this is our team with a PhD in plant ecophysiology from the University of Toronto. I am leading a diverse team with expertise spanning from business to AI. We're also lucky to be supported by a world-class network of scientific, commercial, and institutional partners and mentors. We are now raising a $750K seed round to secure 60 early adopters, accelerate third-party validation, protect our IP, and build a core sales team. We already have a $600K in hard commitment toward this goal. CredoSense is growing, and I invite you to join us. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks a lot. Keeping on the same train of thought here, I'm going to introduce the next company up. Desherbex is an ag tech robotics company developing AI-powered mechanical weeding systems that are precise, efficient, and versatile. Desherbex system employs high-definition cameras to identify weeds and ensure efficient weeding with minimal intervention and damage. Device enables growers to reduce herbicides, labor needs, and increase profitability through precise and sustainable field operations. So allow me to introduce Simon Michaud.
Thanks for the intro, Jeff. 5 years ago, I was a robotics intern visiting carrot farms, and I met this one particular farmer who showed me the best solution to help him with the difficult task of manual weeding. Massage tables pulled by a tractor. Robert, the owner of the farm, explained to me that after years of using the same herbicides, he now faces resistant weeds that completely invade his land. It forces him to find 50 workers willing to spend their entire summer removing millions of weeds. In the end, this work represents $350,000 that he has to spend every summer. Naturally, I was surprised. It means that thousands of farms everywhere in the world are spending billions of dollars every year removing weeds by hand, while still applying tons of herbicides. My name is Simon Michaud, and that's why this great team and I founded Deserbex. With the goal of reducing herbicides in our fields, we invented a robotic farming implement pulled by a tractor that removes weeds just like we would by hand. And by working closely with farmers, we've designed a flexible and efficient weeding technology that adapts to the unique challenges of each vegetable farm. And we know that every one of them faces this problem. We see that the manual weeding of only carrots and onions represents a market with a potential sale value of $51 million in Quebec, $105 million in Canada, and a bit more than $1 billion in the United States. But what we're really after is the $55 billion spent annually on herbicides. Last summer, after conducting successful demonstrations, we were so proud to secure our first sale. And that's a key part of our sales strategy. We show farmers how well our technology works, convincing them to buy one. And if it's not enough, they can rent the machine for $1,000 a day to test it in their field. And that's what's coming next for Deserbex. This summer, we've deployed our first sold machine, hosting several demo days. We are currently talking to a few farmers interested in buying our machines, working on closing 3 sales by April. And with larger machines, more demos, and more rental units in the field, we plan to double revenues every year, starting by expanding to the rest of Canada, Saskatchewan, and the rest of North America. Using our sale and an investment of $1.5 million, we'll have the manpower and the machines necessary to achieve this great goal. And with your help, you will not only accelerate our growth, you will give Robert and many other farmers the greatest gift of all. Robert is proud that his children are currently taking the farm's operation. But that also means that they are the one applying the chemicals. Roberts, he hates seeing his kid play with toxic herbicides. He's ready to buy the solution, and he's waiting for us to change farming forever with Deserbex. Thank you.
Thanks, Simon. Staying on the topic of improving plant growth, next up is Iragrow. Iragrow develops tailored biochar solutions to turn any pot bed or planter into a thriving ecosystem. Their biochar living soil kits increase microbial activity within soil to boost plant health, size, and drought tolerance. Their Iragrow is building the world's largest ChioBar database to help farmers and producers reduce risk, improve soil health, and cut input costs. Allow me to introduce Cal Duncan.
All right, excited to get started here. So hi everybody, my name's Cal. I'm the founder of Agri-Food, and I've found a solution to the ugly side of a thing called biochar. All right, so from my experience, a lot of people have heard of this term biochar before, but when explained, it kind of sounds as confusing as the term regenerative farming. It's this idea that you can take organic waste of all kinds and turn it into a pure form of carbon. It's hailed as a magical fertilizer for plants, and believe it or not, it's one of the largest types of carbon credits out there. It's pure carbon. People install it in the farmlands, and it can make a lot of money off of the credits that it generates. But biochar doesn't work. 40% of the time, it somewhat benefits plants. 40% of the time, it does nothing, and 20% of the time, it negatively impacts the crops that you're growing. So with a business centered around putting the stuff into farmer soils to collect carbon credits, you end up getting the following issues. A biochar producer ends up dumping biochar onto a farmer's field. They tell them it's going to work, they collect their carbon credits, and they make money. It ends up being a huge pain and they don't get the yields that they actually were promised. Farmers then tell neighbors to not trust their biochar producers, and when another company tries to make money off biochar, farmers already have a bad taste in their mouth and the companies struggle. I've seen it time and time again, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. So to solve this problem, I built Ethel. This thing tailors biochar to farmers' soil conditions. It creates recipes that result in actual yield gains and a product that farmers want. It allows me to run trials cheap and quick. And the more tests I run, the more effective my recipes are. And now that all these trial data is built into a database, I'll be able to tell farmers what biochar works in their soils and increases their trust, which helps all industry players. So how do I make money? Well, as this database gets bigger quickly, I end up building more trust in the farming industry. Air becomes the middleman connecting farmers with biochar companies and giving them the secret formula to make their biochar work. We then collect a small portion of their total project cost for our service. So this is actually a pretty massive industry. This year, $474 million in biochar credits were sold. And if you get biochar working in the global north, this number will skyrocket. The opportunity in Canada is enormous. We have the largest acreage per farmer in the world. And with 1 ton of biochar per acre, you end up grossing $407,000 per farm. So a little bit of traction. We've done 10 field trials now in Canada and South America to date, showing that tailoring drastically outperforms off-the-shelf biochar. We're starting to generate revenue from an alternate business model. You can see a little bit of a sneak peek up there. And we have numerous LOIs being signed with farmers that we work with this year. We've also partnered with University of Calgary's Biomass Research Lab and a regenerative farm here in Calgary. So our ask, $500,000 gives us $300,000 in research grants for 2026. We are able to quadruple our field trial capacity, which gives us the world's largest biochar database by far. And with it, we plan to generate $70,000 to $100,000 next year with our alternative business models. It allows me to hire my chemical engineer full-time to develop our schematics for Ethyl V2, which is truly going to change the game to another level, and hire a data scientist as well. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'll be at James Joyce's bar later in Calgary for happy hour, and would love to meet anyone interested in chatting. Appreciate the time.
Thanks a lot, Cal. That's the end of that block. Jesse, back to you.
There we go. We're just going to make sure we keep that recording going. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you to all those in that last block of pitches, or at least some really interesting technologies there. I have to say that that Desher box is a pretty sweet alternative to the current operating paradigm. I don't know if I could lay down picking weeds.
Oh, that doesn't look relaxing to you? A massage table pulled behind a tractor?
Yeah,
Shocking.
if they had the massage going at the same time, maybe I would do it.
There you go. We got a new business opportunity out there.
Yeah, that's all you got to add, right? Well, we're over halfway there, and we've got 9 more pitches to go, and we're going to keep the good time rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great so far. This last block was, I think I heard a number of times, cutting input costs for producers, and I love the idea of trying to find additional revenue streams for our producers as well. So I love that focus. I think it goes to me. I get to introduce our next co-host finally.
Yes, go
right?
ahead. Yes, please.
So we've got another great host joining us from M&P. If we can welcome Dean to the stage. So I don't know.
You jumped ahead. You jumped
Did
ahead.
I? Oh no.
You've got Joe Gill. You got Joe Gill from Recurture.
Joe Gill. Join us, Joe.
Everyone's like, forget it. We cut the
Forget
the
Joe.
fee,
Forget
we cut
Joe.
this. They're like, we had enough lawyers. One was enough. We're good. We don't need any more. I was gonna say to Jesse and Marlies, I was going through my office because you guys were talking about eating, and of course people store stuff in there. So Jesse, look at this. Mass Gainer from V-Gain, one of the companies that participated in the last summit. And I know it's like, it's the winter arc. So, for people out there trying to put on that extra weight, we've got some good products on there.
I love the way you tied that back together. Well done.
There you go. So we're on that. So happy to be here tonight. Marlies, thanks for the intro on that thing. My name is Joe Gill. I'm a partner with the McCurcher Law Firm here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. We are a prairie-based law firm that works with hundreds of innovation, technology-focused startups and ultimately work to empower those who dare. I've had the fortune in the ag space of
building key relationships and partnerships with organizations like TNT, Cultivator, Ag in Motion, and providing those critical supports for ag tech founders, agri-food producers, from everything from little bitty idea in a back room, maybe put together while agonizing way on the farmland, all the way to globally scaling companies, raises, etc. So our big mandate is we want to be along for the journey. I believe, and I've built this practice. We built our practice as a firm upon getting involved early with founders, providing the supports they need, and being there for everything and anything that comes along. So, with that said, we'll get right into it because I know people didn't come here to listen to professionals yammer on about all the shit they do. I don't know if this is recorded or that'll get bleeped out or something. So, first up, we all hate waste, right? Like, if you could do something with waste from ag operations, that would be good. What if you could repurpose it for added value? Well, David Leroux from Circulus Ag Tech is going to tell us more about that. David, please come to the virtual stage.
All right. Thank you for the candid intro. I like the energy halfway through. Visuals are good. I lost the...
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, hey, everyone. I'm David, founder of Circulus Ag Tech, where we convert ag waste into precise fertilizers and clean water. So if we think about our food system, we remember that our food system is dependent on synthetic fertilizers. Synthetic nitrogen mainly is responsible for 5% of global greenhouse gas emission. Its price is very close to the price of natural gas because it's made with natural gas. So yeah, the price spiked, and it's still a big cost for farmers. On the other hand, the way that we manage our organic waste, if we think about composting, anaerobic digestion, or just field application, is not bad by definition, but it's made to manage a lot of waste. So it's not made to make precise inputs to replace synthetics. That's not how we designed it. So if we think about it, we're kind of stuck in a linear pattern where we need more synthetics, and it's a hassle to manage our shit. So with these two things, we lose nutrients, and that's billions in lost revenue. So to tackle that, we have developed the Circulus system. It's a process inspired by wastewater treatment. Because if you think about it, ag waste is essentially water but packed with nutrients. But instead of destroying these nutrients, like nitrogen, phosphorus, and others, we capture those using bacteria. And with membranes, we concentrate them into a stable form so that we can re-inject biofertilizers directly into irrigation systems. So in a matter of days, instead of months compared to other methods, we're able to split the organic waste, like manure, crop residue, and digestate, into nutrients, water, and dewatered solids. So our business model is to sell equipment and our servicing fees to the farmers. So we help them reduce the cost of inputs while reducing the cost of transport of their waste. So for every ton of waste that we manage, it's half a ton of CO2 equivalent that we're able to reduce, because instead of emitting methane in your pit, well, we can manage that waste continuously. We have different price range depending on how much we need to process. We take a margin when it's sold, and we have a return on investment, because if a farm just buys wastewater treatment equipment, well, it's technically just an expense. It doesn't bring a value. So now we can bring a value by processing that waste. That's a little bit what it looks like when we come into a farm. We retrofit equipment, and then we process and we extract nutrients. These are some of the products, manure-based and crop residue-based products that we have developed for some of our clients. And yeah, over the years, we have secured paid pilot projects, 1.2 million in non-dilutive funding. We have secured investments, being deemed one of the top 50 most investable clean tech. And now we have products on the market that we have made for some of our clients. We have secured commercial orders for our system for more than $1 million, deploying in the dairy and pig sectors, while still working with the greenhouse industry for our soluble products. And yeah, eyeing 1 million revenues for next year. So born on the East Coast, slowly traveling towards the center of Canada in the greenhouse industry in Ontario and into cattle's in Western Canada, while having conversation with digesters in the US to turn digestate into higher value products. Yeah, so we're raising a seed round. We already have secured $200,000 of investment, looking at 500. Startup TNT would be a good opportunity to do that, help us close our larger sales cycles, hire and enter the US, to then open a seed round of $3 million next year. So with all the shit that we brew, I'm lucky to have a strong and diverse team with backgrounds in engineering, business, science, and technology, and advisors that have had successful exit in biotech and in ag tech. Yeah, I'm David, looking for investors and strategic partners. to turn organic waste into precise fertilizers. Thank you very much, and good luck to all the others. All right.
I always feel at the end of these we need the applause button or something. It just lacks something when
Right.
it's online.
Well,
it's like, hey, some people who know how to overlay that are smarter than me and understand that. So thank you, David, for that amazing pitch. I will say,
Thank
if you do have merch and that line you said is a throwaway line about it's a hassle to manage our shit, and that goes on a t-shirt, I will be the first person to sign up and buy that. So let's move on with our next contestant up on this. So a constant sight on the prairie landscape are trucks cycling through grain elevators. Have you ever considered how important it is, how critical it is to our systems that the trucks run on time, that they mitigate wait times? Well, Brian Waddy with GrainFlow might have the answers you're looking for. Brian, welcome to the stage.
Hi, Joe. Thanks for the welcome. My name is Brian Waddy, and I'm the founder and CEO of GrainFlow, and we're working to create real-time visibility for grain and fertilizer logistics. So grain and fertilizer needs to move from farms to elevators to processors to ports. There's over 40,000 facilities like these globally and 10,000 in North America alone. But it's not that easy. So on any given day of the year, trucks can back up for hours. Farmers wait, probably equivalent to that $500 of value of downtime that Andrew was mentioning earlier. And managers juggle calls and radios just trying to figure out who's next. So it's frustrating, it's costly, and it's completely avoidable. At most agricultural distribution sites, traffic management is still manual. That means long wait times, unpredictable arrivals, yes, even when you set an appointment, and idle trucks and pits. So constant phone calls just to figure out what's happening. There's no real-time visibility for managers, for farmers, or for truckers. And when farmers get frustrated, they talk. That word of mouth costs facilities grain volume, efficiency, and loyalty every season. So GrainFlow turns the facility's existing security cameras into an AI-powered traffic monitor. We automatically detect and count trucks in line, calculate average wait time, and show it on a live dashboard in the office. Managers can see it in the office, farmers can see it on the app before they leave the yard. There's no new hardware, no manual input, just real-time visibility. From there, the platform scales quickly, multi-site views for regional operators, alerts when lines get long, and soon, an AI scheduling assistant that predicts busy periods and helps keep the truck flow nice and steady. In short, we help elevators move more grain with the same infrastructure. Once the cameras are connected, GrainFlow's active video analytics extend far beyond counting trucks. We also detect and log every vehicle that enters or leaves the site, monitor for spills and leaks around loading areas, and provide asset protection through motion alerts and after-hours activity tracking. By analyzing traffic patterns over time, we highlight pinch points and underused areas of the yard, giving managers data that they can use for future site design and throughput planning. In short, the same AI that tracks your queues also builds a digital map of how your facility is really operating. And the demand is clear. One grain elevator operator said to me, this is our top priority, and I spend more time on this between December and February. And in a recent survey of farmers across North America, 357 farmers, of 357 farmers, over 90% said they want GrainFlow at their delivery sites. So we're raising $750,000 to $1 million Canadian on a safe at a $6 million valuation cap, a 20% discount. These funds will allow us to build the product team, secure our 3 pilot elevator partners, and scale into a recurring revenue model. I'm Brian Waddy. I'm the founder and CEO. I have 10 years of building ag tech companies in experience. I've led product and business development. I've helped ag tech companies in Canada secure $9.3 million in non-dilutive funding. I grew up in and around this industry, and I know how valuable every hour is. GrainFlow delivers that efficiency, real-time visibility for every truck, every pit, every day. If you're interested in learning more, my contact information is at the bottom of the slide. Thanks for your time today.
Yay! We still don't have audio on that. Great pitch, great pitch, Brian. As that note popped up that said there is a truck at the shed, if it waits too long, can you change it? This will be a dated reference for some people. Can it say your driver has died of dysentery? For those who played the Oregon Trail game back in the day, that might be dating myself. Third up here on this portion. Okay, let's say you're well enough off, you got a fully decked out backyard, it's got a pergola, there's a carport, and you got an infinity pool. Sounds great. But what if you could integrate solar throughout that yard to power not just your toys, but also the systems that grow the critical greenery around that yard to make it pop? Well, Chris Jones with PrimaVolt might have what you're looking for. Chris, welcome to the digital stage.
Perfect. Thank you. Hi, I'm Chris Jones from PrimaVolt. I'm here to talk about how we can increase growers' margins by growing smarter while powering greener. Specialty growers face a triple threat: shrinking margins, harsher conditions with unpredictable yields, and limited farmland, with traditional solar compromising this valuable land, putting off-the-shelf panels on a frame in a field, built for utilities, not for crops. The time has come, combining the specialty crop market, such as vineyards and ginseng, with the rapidly growing agrivoltaic market at a combined value of over $1 trillion. Incentives reduce the adoption cost and risk, allowing us to shape this agrivoltaic inflection point into a crop-focused solution. Redefining what a solar panel is, our proprietary solar blades are rotatable and AI-driven, turning that triple threat into a triple opportunity. Focusing on the crops first, our system operates in real time to climate and crop conditions, rotating to regulate the precise amount of light and airflow needed for the crops below, with not all areas of the field getting the same response. This creates optimized microclimates, creating increased yield and quality of the crops while decreasing costs and the irrigation needs. The rotation also creates a waterproof seal, protecting the crops from harsh conditions such as frost, hail, heat, or water stress, as well as collecting that water for later use. This dual-purpose system maximizes the potential of premium farmland. Initially focusing on ginseng and vineyard markets while we secure pilots in Ontario and BC, we're also generating traction in Australia, allowing us to test our modular system in various climate regions. Helping growers adopt our system at a decreased risk, we offer a revenue sharing model, guaranteeing a percentage of yield increase while sharing the remaining bit, and offering energy at a decreased cost through simple power purchase agreements. We'll pilot additional crop types as we scale our existing systems. We've currently been bootstrapping to validate our market fit, and since our transition in July, we've quickly been gaining traction, with strong interest from UBC's Sengen Living Lab and multiple growers showing interest in pilot MOUs. We're asking for $750,000 investment to further our development and put multiple pilots in the ground, showcasing the benefits of a crop-focused system. Join us as first movers, increasing growers' margins and power. Let's grow a smarter future while powering it cleaner. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. All right. That concludes this block of the evening. You're done with me making poor jokes about computer games from the 1980s. So going to someone more serious.
Well, thanks, Joe. We love that energy. That's why we put you there in the middle of that block release. How fun was that block of pitches?
That was so good. And I feel bad that I almost missed you, Joe. That type of energy is exactly what we need right now to get into the last 6 pitches of the night.
All right. Now you can introduce
Now,
MNP. Yeah.
The one everyone's been waiting for. I'm such a hype girl for MNP right now, incidentally. So we want to welcome Dean to the virtual stage.
Hey, thanks, Marlies.
Good to see you, Dean. I don't know if everyone knows this, but MNP just put out a report about agriculture and food last week. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but tell us a little bit about MNP. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks so much. So I'm Dean Voikin. I'm a partner in our agri-food, food and processing niche here at MMP. MMP is a large national accounting firm, but we've organized ourselves into different client sectors. So we have a dedicated team across the country that deals with food and beverage clients. So we deal with everything from sort of cloud bookkeeping, accounting, tax, shred claims, and any kind of sort of business advisory type needs that clients may need. You mentioned our food and agri-food report. So we commissioned that with Sylvain Charlebois at Dalhousie University, and it's got some really interesting insights on food in Canada. So encourage folks to take a look. You can download the report for free on our website, mnp.ca, and learn more. Excellent. So let's keep rolling here. So we'll get into our next pitch, and I'm very pleased to introduce Team Fish Monitoring. So Team Fish Monitoring makes electronic monitoring affordable for fisheries. They help seafood producers prove sustainability and traceability so they can access premium markets and compete in transparency-driven global supply chains. So please welcome to the stage, Amanda Barney.
Thank you so much. Let me just share this screen. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Barney, and I'm the CEO of Team Fish Monitoring. We make sustainability measurable, and we help fisheries prove they're fishing responsibly and keep access to high-value markets. More than 93% of global fish stocks are fished at or beyond sustainable limits. Regulators have no scalable way to see what's really happening on the water, and there are nearly 5 million fishing vessels globally. In Canada, fisheries are a cornerstone of coastal economies, but without verified data, regulators and buyers cannot trust the catch, and it threatens livelihoods. Major seafood buyers, Walmart, Costco, Tesco, now require 100% monitored supply chains, and the U.S. Seafood Import Monitoring Program, bit of a mouthful, which starts in January 2026, will restrict imports from countries without monitoring programs. This is reshaping the global seafood trade. Without traceable data, fisheries, even Canadian ones, risk losing export markets. Team Fish delivers a proven electronic monitoring and AI platform. We put cameras and sensors on board fishing vessels that capture every haul. We have onboard AI analytics that can analyze in real time, and our cloud platform delivers verifiable catch data to regulators, fleets, and buyers. We turn ocean data into trusted intelligence, creating transparency that protects fish stocks and market access. This is not a concept. This is operational technology. We have been around since 2019, and our systems are deployed in Canada, the United States, Australia, and the UK. We are processing millions of frames of video data for species ID and compliance. Our hardware is rugged, portable, and it's appropriate for all fleet sizes, including the fleets that sustain many Canadian coastal and Indigenous economies. These are some of the partners that we're working with. The global vessel monitoring market already exceeds $1 billion and is projected to quadruple by 2033. But less than 1% of vessels are equipped with electronic monitoring because until about 12 months ago, the market pressure was not coupled with the regulatory requirement. But suddenly, we have an incredibly rapidly expanding market, and we focus on inshore and nearshore fleets, those with the fastest growing compliance segment. And we have tech that's proven to scale to high seas operations when those mandates start to expand. In the past year, we've increased our recurring revenue to over 700,000. We signed 2.2 million in contracts this year, and we have a $5 million plus pipeline for 2026. We have an incredible team here at Team Fish. I lead with Teresa Rossell and Lindsay Lane, and we have a blend of fisheries expertise and enterprise scale tech. We are raising $2 million to scale manufacturing, expand sales, and enter new international markets. We have 1 million soft circled from strategic backers and are seeking a lead to join us in scaling verified sustainability across the world's fisheries. Thank you. I'm at time.
Thanks, Amanda. That's great. Excellent pitch there, and looking to service a need there in the industry. So next up, and continuing on the seafood theme, is Pro Filet, and we have a video pitch from them now. So let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Greg Potter, and I am the CEO of Pro Filet, and we are an alternative seafood company. The problem that we are addressing surrounds the fact that demand for seafood is increasing to the point that there are going to be supply shortages and higher prices now and in the future. There are alternative seafood products in the market today that can help to fill this supply gap, but many of them don't meet customer expectations in that they have poor taste, they're too expensive, they're perceived to be too processed, and they don't provide adequate nutrition. At Pro Filet, we have developed a new alternative whitefish fillet that has authentic taste and texture, scalable manufacturing, and nutritional parity with actual white fish. To commercialize our product, we have developed a two-stage go-to-market approach, where in the first stage, we will primarily align with small independent restaurant chains. And as we scale up our operation, we will sell to large restaurant chains, QSRs, universities, and health authorities through distributor networks. In both stage 1 and stage 2, we're able to achieve a healthy margin greater than 35%. On the topic of price, Pro Filet's product is poised for success, as it actually becomes cheaper than the leading competitor in plant-based seafood within 16 months. And within 3.25 years, we undercut the cost of mid-range price white fish, which is all excellent news, as cost parity is a major target of our alternative protein industry. In terms of traction, we have proven novelty, commercial partnerships, and early customer interest. We are on the verge of submitting our U.S. provisional patent application. We have product development agreements with Rondo and Ardra. We have manufacturing both in the United States and Canada, and we have conducted tastings in Halifax and Toronto at leading restaurants in our category. Our company has also been very successful in raising non-dilutive funding to date, with amounts of nearly $1.5 billion Canadian for a number of outfits shown here on this slide. In terms of differentiation, Pro Filet is the only alternative whitefish product on the market today that delivers on nutrition, texture, and price. This is in comparison to a heavily commercialized product from Gardein and a new offering from an up-and-coming startup in our category, Revo Foods. In terms of the size of the opportunity, it is vast for anyone who would like to get involved, $80 million US specifically for the serviceable attainable market. However, this number could be much, much larger if we consider that whitefish supply and demand gap I alluded to previously. In terms of leadership, our company has all the expertise to have started and grow Pro Filet across domains including finance, sales, product quality, and leadership. We are here today as part of our pre-seed raise period, seeking $1 million Canadian to unlock 24 months of runway and focus on a number of key milestones, including production scale-up, technical enhancement, and securing further customers and commercialization partners. Thank you so much for having us here today, and I look forward to any questions you have.
Well, thanks very much to Greg and Pro Filet. Next up, we have Karyotica, and they are a Canadian ag tech company developing novel biostimulants, and their products help growers improve yields, crop quality, and stress resilience while reducing reliance on synthetic fertilizers and water. So please welcome to the stage, Aaron DeBlanco.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I take it you can see the slideshow there. All right. Okay. So Karyotica is, sorry, 1 second here. So, Karyotica is transforming the way food is grown by making organic plant-based biostimulants that help commercial growers produce more food with less fertilizer, less water, and zero chemicals. The global biostimulant industry is worth $7 billion, but most products today offer minimal yield increases, toxicity to plants over time, and limited value. Growers are ready for something that actually works, and that's what we've built. Our advantage lies in a proprietary fermentation process that upcycles agricultural byproducts such as soy meal. And we make these into highly concentrated nitrogen-rich biofertilizers. And independent studies show that our products reduce fertilizer use, increase nutrient content, and extend shelf life of fruits and vegetables. These results translate directly into higher profits for growers and a strong sustainability story for investors. We have 3 licensed products in Canada, Ohio, and Georgia. GrowFast is an all-around plant-boosting formula. Thrive promotes germination and root strength in soil, and Bountiful accelerates growth in hydroponic systems. We also have a 4th product that's in testing, and it controls turf growth and improves drought tolerance. And this is opening new opportunities in landscaping and sports turf markets. And each product addresses a distinct segment, all built from one scalable technological base. Our results are backed by third-party validations from universities and growers worldwide. A recent lettuce trial using our formulas achieved 2.6 times the growth with 40% less fertilizer and a 60% increase in the nutrient density. Since discovering our process, we've registered products in North America, achieved OMRI organic certification, and we've completed international field trials validating performance. And we're now in negotiations with 4 large agrochemical producers and wholesalers for B2B sales. We're entering commercialization and raising up to $2 million through SAFEs and grants that are non-dilutive, and this will help us build our pilot facility. Funding will allow us to scale to 1,000 liters per day within year 1 and 1 million liters annually within 5 years, representing $100 million in annual revenues with gross margins around 65%. So this is a high margin, low capex business model ready to scale globally. Karyottica has an experienced team led by myself as CEO and co-founder. Dr. Afoy, he's a co-founder and director of research and development, and Bill Bailey is our COO and CFO. We also have strong connections with advisors from academia and business. So Karyottica's goal is to revolutionize agriculture with safer, more sustainable solutions that significantly enhance yields while reducing costs and environmental impacts. So thank you for your time today, and we look forward to discussing how you can be part of our growth journey.
Great. Thanks very much, Aaron. Marlies, back to you.
Thanks, Dean. All right, I think that brings us to our final 3 pitches.
Wow,
We're almost there, guys.
18 pitches up, 18 pitches down, 3 more to go here, and we saw some pretty incredible stuff, some pretty incredible innovation, some tasty treats, and I'm really excited to bring it home with our last box of pitches here, Marlies. So I will welcome our last co-host of the evening, but certainly not least. Let's welcome to the stage one of our close friends, Michael Grantmeyer over at Osler. How you doing, Michael?
Doing well, Jesse. Thanks for having me.
So great to see you. You've been such a big supporter of our work here at Startup TNT and the whole ecosystem, not just in Western Canada, where you're based out here in Calgary, but also across the country. Osler is a big supporter. And speaking of reports, we were talking about that MNP report. Another little shout out for a great report that everyone should check out, the Osler Deal Points report, because we're all about making deals here at Startup TNT. So it's been a really great resource for us. And I know you, Michael, have been one of the main authors of that. So big kudos and round of applause for you on putting that together, because it's a fantastic resource for the ecosystem.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over there at Osler, and yeah, then we'll get to the pitches.
Yeah. So hey, everybody, Michael here. I lead our Emerging and High Growth Companies Group practice at Osler in the Prairies. I'm based in Calgary. And our Emerging and High Growth Companies Group is Osler's dedicated practice working with companies and investors in the tech space. And on the company side, we're working regularly with founders months and months before they've even incorporated a company, just spitballing ideas about business and structure, and all the way through to the Clios, the Coheres of the world, the Metas and Googles of the world, and everything in between. And where we engage the most, I would say, is kind of day-to-day corporate work for clients, support on venture financing transactions, so raising capital, which is kind of near and dear to everybody's hearts today on the call, and then mergers and acquisitions work in the tech space. Then outside of that, we've got a whole host of other practice areas that support everything else that our clients touch.
Well, we certainly know here we've worked with a lot of companies that have Osler as legal counsel, so definitely highly recommend those that are looking for that kind of counsel that can grow and scale with you to reach out to Michael and the team at Osler.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah. So
Okay.
take it away. What do we have next? What's our
Awesome.
3 pitches here?
Yeah, so last but certainly not least, as you said, we've got Visva Agritech first, and Arjun's going to be taking the stage. And just to kind of tee it up, Visva builds automated vertical greenhouses that function like vending machines, which is an analogy that I love, delivering fresh produce directly to consumers. So Arjun, take it away. I think you're on mute.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me. Since the 70s, we've been from our process of tilling the soil and pumping in fertilizers and the pesticides, we've led to soil depletion, and this has led to a massive decline in the nutrition in our food. This loss is compounded by nutrition loss after harvest. So when we import our food from California, Mexico, or wherever, we lose about 30% of its nutrients within 3 days. Spinach can lose 90% of its nutrients within just 24 hours, and it's usually 1 to 2 weeks by the time we get our food. Spinach, strawberries, and leafy greens are among the worst pesticide contaminated crops out there. So a recent study showed that leafy greens they found 100 different types of pesticides from a single study, just from leafy greens alone. So 45% of all fresh food, fruits, vegetables, they're wasted, and most of it is wasted pre-retail. Vertical farming industry has experienced a wave of bankruptcies recently, and basically this is mostly because of the labor cost. So labor cost is the biggest operational expense, and as the projects become smaller, the portion of labor cost is just magnified. And there's a labor shortage as well in the greenhouse industry. We lost $500 million in lost sales in just a single year in 2022. So introducing to you Visva Agritech, I'm Arjun, the founder. So we develop autonomous vertical greenhouses. The consumer will walk into the greenhouse, use a touchscreen like what you'd see in McDonald's or an application, right away, on site, on demand. Machinery will harvest the produce, package it, and deliver it to the consumer. It's patent pending, and we recently received a patent acceptance letter for our US patent application. We're going to use vertical towers, and this is a multi-format system. So if we want to be flexible so we can make it as convenient as possible for the consumer to access. So we're looking at both indoor, outdoor locations. Outdoor, I like shipping containers because of the modularity. Indoors, we'll use a plexiglass. We'll put them in high foot traffic locations, in malls, retail centers, rooftops, parking lots. We're extremely flexible that way, and we'll own and operate these units. So all the horticulturalists in our team have a master's or PhD where they've conducted research specific to the pain points in vertical farming, and they're supported by technologists and business interns to help us with our competitive pricing model, because it's very important to get that right, especially in a low margin industry. And then we are supported by advisors and consultants who have a combination of industry and C-suite experience. So there's a vertical farm owner in Norway. He just raised $1.2 million. We have an experienced CFO, worked for a Big Four firm. And then we have a former senior advisor to multiple in Agriculture Canada, and she advised multiple cabinet ministers and prime ministers. So the market is expected to double. The vertical farming itself is expected to double by 2029, but the global controlled agriculture market is expected to increase by 5 times by 2032. And if we optimize vertical farming, we can eat into the global controlled environment agriculture market. So the concept of local food is on the rise. 86% of Canadians prefer to buy local. We're going to build a prototype over 4 months, after which we'll develop a final product over 1 year.
Arjun, sorry, I have to cut you off there.
Okay.
We're at time. I know
Perfect.
you've got
pretty much done anyway. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Pass it back to you, Michael.
Awesome. Okay, so thanks, Arjun. And next up, we've got Pascal from Agrigene. And Agrigene Solutions is protecting honeybee health with advanced diagnostic tools that detect diseases, parasites, and stressors early, reducing hive losses and supporting healthier pollination for crops worldwide. Over to you, Pascal.
Thank you, Michael. So my name is Pascal Michaud. I am the founder and CEO of Agrigene Solution, and our company is tackling a critical threat to global food security, which is the decline of honeybee populations. So unfortunately, every year, beekeepers lose on average 30 to 50% of their hives, and that's mainly due to hive infection. So a bunch of different parasites that infect beehives. And then, unfortunately, this leads to what we call a pollination crisis. So simply put, we just don't have enough bees anymore to pollinate all our crops. And since 1/3 of the world's crop require pollination, it's a major issue that needs to be tackled. So at Agrigene, we really believe that the solution in preventing all of these hive losses lie in a preventative approach to disease management. So what we offer is to detect infections early, because the earlier you detect something, the more chances you have of being able to treat it. We can also evaluate hive health by looking at specific biomarkers. And we can also monitor resilience and trends over time, so we can really give beekeepers some tailored hive management recommendations. Our impact goes well beyond the beehive. So for every test that is bought from us from a beekeeper, it will help pollinate 5 to 10 acres, which will then protect $15,000 to $50,000 of crop value, which with every single test that is purchased from us from a beekeeper. We operate a direct-to-consumer model, so our clients can either go directly on our website or also through retail stores, and then they can either purchase some individual test kits or subscribe to a yearly monitoring service. Then they will need to collect a sample, but it's quick, it's easy, and it's non-invasive. So it's just a swab of the hive entrance. There's no need to open up the hive. And then we will analyze in our lab and then quickly deliver a hive report and personalized recommendation based on the results. So we are currently in market. We have early adopters across Canada, and most importantly, we have happy clients. So we have clients who, were able to save their hives or just get good peace of mind from using our services. Our long-term goal is to actually apply this technology to other food markets. So really any other food producing market that is susceptible to infections. So we started with the beekeeping market because there was a crying need for it, but our technology is adaptable to other markets. So you can take as seafood as another one, for example. So we are a strong scientific team. We have over 70 years of combined R&D experience with different expertise, and we've been supported by different agencies, either through some non-dilutive funding or through some mentorships. We are currently raising our pre-seed round, so we're looking to raise $500,000, which will be leveraged with non-dilutive funding. We have our lead investor committed for $200,000, so we already have our term sheet in place. And really, our goals are to scale our sales across North America. We're already talking with a major distributor in the US, so we are confident that we can achieve our 1 million in revenue in the next 18 to 24 months. So if anyone has questions, I'd be happy to chat. Feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And then next up, last, we've got Xavier from Piquetta Systems. And Piquetta Systems offers real-time plant analysis for precision nutrient management. The portable lens device transforms nutrient assessment, empowering agronomists and farmers with rapid, accurate insights and to optimize crop health and yields. Over to you, Xavier.
Super. Thank you, Michael. And I'm happy to continue the New Brunswick theme here with Pascal going right before. Super. So if we've met in the last 5 years or so, you realize that I'm obsessed with scanning leaves, which sounds kind of out there until you realize it's a key part of agriculture, something we did weekly back on the East Coast growing potatoes. And since then, we've launched Piquetta Systems where we do real-time plant tissue analysis. So what is the problem we're trying to solve? Well, half of fertilizers approximately are going to waste. They're not going into the plant to help boost the yield. You're not hitting the minimum limiting factor of your nutrients. A lot of those times you're putting in more and more nitrogen when really you should be looking at the micronutrients. And we're seeing the shift within the agriculture market where it's less and less about more fertilizer and more about precise fertilizers. For the average farm, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. And the massive overspray is killing the soil health and the profitability. Solutions we've come up with this is the lens. So you can scan 10 leaves. And within a minute, what used to take sending a sample all the way to Ontario, to other provinces, waiting 2 to 3 weeks to get results, you get back in a minute. What does that do? That means you can actually answer questions to your growers. Typically work with agronomists. Questions like, should I apply another pass of this nitrogen? Should we add some boron ahead of this canola's reproductive stage? All these things were guesswork, but we're trying to take the guesswork out of fieldwork with the system. We've already proven it's out on over 800 farms, done 25,000 tissue samples in real time. This past year, we hit over 400K in ARR and grown, including some pretty big names here, including Cargill, Nexus, The Rack, McGregor, these retail chains that see this as a way to give a better service to their farmers while being able to answer those questions, sell more specific high margin micronutrient fertilizers, and more. Some of the benefits we hear all the time are we can actually do something instead of waiting and having a report card with this data. It's actually more of a cheat sheet, being able to act on it. It saves a lot of time within collecting data, as well as being able to make recommendations off the spot. I think one of the most important things we've seen is induced demand, where right now, most farmers don't take many tissue tests at all. I'd say like less than 1%. Whereas with this system, when they can take unlimited samples, of course, you want to know what's going on in your crop. And we've seen folks go from 50 samples a year to hundreds, if not thousands. This is our footprint from this past year, which includes corn, potatoes, canola. And we've just completed the research to add wheat and soy, which is going to go from 30% crop coverage of the acres to 70%. And we found product market fit within the ag retailer segment. We see this as a huge market, not just with the current spend being in the hundreds of millions, but also with this segment that we found product market fit with being over 30,000 agronomists within ag retailers in North America. Currently raising $1 million, including some of the best ag tech VCs, including Tallgrass Ventures, Cone, NBIF, and some others. We have 515,000 committed, and we're looking to add some more folks, especially if you are a farmer yourself, know about it, or can help introduce us to more folks in the industry. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Xavier, and Piquetta for bringing us home. That was a ton of fun. And thank you again to Michael and Osler for all the awesome support and to all the companies pitching in that last block. Marlies, We're done. We've seen 21 pitches tonight. Can you possibly believe that?
We did it. You guys, you did such an amazing job. It was so great to hear everyone pitch, and it's such a range. I mean, this is the beauty of ag is it's not just selling a farmer a piece of hardware. The applications across ag and food for all sorts of technologies, it's really limitless. And so to be able to see that spectrum on the stage here tonight was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see the diversity. There were even more companies that applied, and I actually know that there are dozens more companies out there building agri-food space. People ask me all the time, like, what is possibly happening in this sector? How many startups could there possibly be? Wilson over at Tallgrass the other day said they look at 700 startups a year. But you know what he also said? He wants to take that number to 5,000. So if you love seeing innovation in agri-food in Canada, support it in your community. If any of these companies here tonight, if you have a connection for them, if you have a sales partner for them, if you think that you could help and work with them as an employee or as a partner advisor, whatever it is, highly encourage you reach out to them and get involved. And of course, I know you, Marlies, for any of these companies tonight, I know they should reach out to you to get connected in, or some of your colleagues get connected into your network. You got all this amazing things you talked about at the top. So yeah, how should people
Just
get in
call
touch?
me.
Yes, just call you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just give me a shout. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I think the next step is super simple. Just stay involved.
yeah.
If you're an investor or a founder or a leader, think about how you can mentor some of the founders on the stage tonight. Explore angel investing. Think about getting involved, making a connection. Obviously, building this community is a critical part of being able to advance agriculture writ large, and FCC is proud to be a sponsor of this program, but also an investor in a lot of the companies that we're seeing tonight, and those coming up through the innovation pipeline. So stay involved, uh, make a connection if you can, learn about angel investing, and come join the rest of us ag nerds on this journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So if you are interested in learning about agri-food and investing in innovation, reach out on to TNT. We've got a whole form there on the website. We're happy to jump on a call with you to brief you a little bit more on how it all works. But yeah, as I said at the beginning of the night, this is just one step in the process. These companies are working behind the scenes in due diligence meetings with our investors. We're going to be cutting the companies down here right away and digging in deeper, and then eventually getting down to a top five. As I said, on November 27th, those top five will be pitching in Toronto. So make sure you mark that date. Make sure you tell your friends there, and maybe you decide you want to book a flight and come on out if you're not in that region. It's going to be a really great
I'll be
night
there.
celebration. Marlies is going to come out. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're working with some of our partners in the region, like Mars, like BDC, and others, to put on a really great couple of days there in Toronto. So, yeah, thank you so much for everybody for watching the recording. Thank you everybody for pitching tonight, and thank you once again to all of our amazing sponsors and partners and co-hosts tonight for taking the time to spend with us. And I hope you all have a great evening.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.